Now to the necklace. So here it is in the silver, Sevilla silver. Here it is in the Sevilla silver with Technibond. And when I say that, what I mean is this is the same recipe since the 90s that HSN has been utilizing, nickel-free and gold, made one with sterling silver, that all of us have come to know and love. I bought a Technibond necklace before I even started as a host here. I still have it. It's going strong. You have come to rely on this luxury that is so affordable, and we have never done a Byzantine in this length. So like Paul said, if you have the collars or the chokers and you've really been craving that longer length in a Byzantine, this is the time to finally get yours. But that being said, we don't have a lot. Paul, I wish we had 1,000 of these.
Well, then they wouldn't be so special.
Well, yeah, I know.
You know, there's a lot of workmanship that goes into the Byzantine. And I did mention before that in the 32-inch length, in 18 karat gold, the cheapest price I found was $12,000.
I'm surprised you even found one to do a comparison.
You know, the web is an amazing place.
It really
I mean,
is.
everything is out there somewhere. And that just was eye-raising to me because, you know, I love my gold pieces, but I can't afford gold pieces that are this substantial. You know, the idea of a solid gold Byzantine that's 32 inches long being in my budget doesn't exist. And it doesn't exist for anybody I know. You know, I mean, that's just, we're talking about a ton of money. That's like a small car. So, but I want the look. And I know you want the look. And maybe you never even thought about how gorgeous Byzantine would be in 32 inches or 24 inches. But now you can see, whether it's in sterling silver or the yellow gold with Technibond, it's absolutely jaw-droppingly, movie set-breaking fabulous. I mean, wow. Could you just see this in a great movie?
I could.
Yeah.
It looks like you were lucky enough to travel internationally, and this is the one piece you picked up, and you just, you know, you blew up the bank, but that was okay because you knew this was a lifetime piece. So I just wanted to show you something that coming up are those bangles. Those bangles, we have a gorgeous, voluptuous chain-style bracelet in the Byzantine. But if you'd like to do some multitasking before that pair of earrings goes, pick up the bangles in your choice of the silver, the yellow gold, the rose gold, and then here is your necklace information, and it's 092-948. This is your Sevilla silver with Technibond jewelry. When you're seeing it in the yellow gold, that is your yellow gold precious Technibond, that is your rose gold precious Technibond, and of course that Sevilla silver, bright and gleaming and precious. Back to the necklace we go, and I'll let you know when these are totally spoken for because it is flying out of here.
And we don't have many of these. You know, we talk often, or at least I do, about the history of Byzantine and the link.
Yes, I love the way you tell that story.
Well, I mean, it goes back probably to around 330 AD in Constantinople, and the king declared that the only persons who could wear Byzantine jewelry were of royal blood, and it was punishable by death to be caught wearing them. A few years later, under Justinian law, the king decided that, you know what, everyone should be able to wear a gold necklace, just not a Byzantine necklace. Well, think about what this did in terms of marketing. I mean, now everybody wanted the Byzantine necklace. And here's the thing. The longer and more heavy gauge that your necklace was, the more wealthy you were, the higher up you were in the nobility, the higher your rank. Well, we've never done one at 32 inches. This is like the king's dad, the king's mom. This is like, and all the king's horses.
Nana.
Yeah, this is the king's Nana.
Who's still got the vault, you know, right?
Yeah, she still has the power too, doesn't she?
She's still holding on, and I don't blame her to all that wealth. But when you put this on, from a distance, you know, it just looks like this wonderful silver presence on Kate, but then as you get closer and closer, people who know jewelry will be like, what? That's a Byzantine? I've never seen one so long. I've never seen one so glimmering and bright. And it's in sterling for you, Sevilla sterling silver, and it's also in, this is the first time we've done it in this length, your Sevilla silver jewelry with Technibond. It's the same recipe of Technibond that we have come to know and love, our longest running jewelry line here at HSN. We have combined it with our Sevilla silver, and it just makes great sense that we did. And now we can bring it to you in these especially gorgeous designs. So you'll know who you are if that's calling your name. Don't wait, because there are getting really limited. Fewer than 200 now available across all of those sizes. We have